Welcome, everybody. That date's wrong. That date is wrong. And the only slide that updated was the one that mattered. April 14th, 2021, Tales from the Flipside. This is the Wednesday Night Comic Book Presser, everybody. I'm going to need you to go ahead and like this video. Make sure you're going to go ahead and share it too. Maybe drop it in your IG or your Facebook chats. Either or is fine. Make sure that if you're watching this video on the rewind, I know it is a short shelf life, but please make sure to leave me a comment below. And make sure you have also hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell. Make sure you are notified for when all Flipside shows go live. We would hate for you guys to miss out on a notification and miss out on the goods. And speaking of goods, are you good? I'm good. I'm doing real good, actually. So thank you all for joining me here this evening. Ultra Maximus here, Wednesday Night Comic Book Presser, Flipside channel on YouTube, and we are going to get into this evening. Got a fun list of books to get into, of course, because here at the Wednesday Night Comic Book Presser, we do, of course, review all of the new comic book releases through your Diamond and Lunar distribution services. And if there's another distribution service out there and I should know about them, please leave me a comment below. Let me know who that is, or say what's up in the live chat. And I want to give a shout out to everybody in the live chat tonight. As you know, super chats are indeed active, not required, but are appreciated. And again, you guys know me. This is where you can find me in other spots, and you're going to want to follow me in some of those other spots because I'm doing a little bit of a giveaway on my own channel. So if you aren't subscribed over at my Ultra Maximus channel, you might want to go ahead and do that, because as we approach 1,000 subscribers over there, I am trying to replicate the thunder that was the Drunken Chat box with the Ultra box. So looking forward to giving away a whole bunch of good books from my own collection to a lucky winner. And I thank you all for, in return, your subscription. So you guys know there's going to be spoilers ahead this evening. It is spoilerific, and like I said, super chat is active but not required. But let's talk about some things here first. Wednesday Night Comic Book Presser's top story. My top story is that this dude made over $1 million profit flipping him in Action Comics 8.5, and it's not even the highest in the census. So as you guys know, there is a 9.0 out there. All right, so the 9.0 was Nicolas Cage's, and then it got stolen. He got paid the insurance, and then it was recovered. And I'm not sure if he bought it back or not, because that was the book that Nicolas Cage bought when he was going for the role of Superman. He actually filmed a whole bunch of test footage too. So Nick Cage was going to be Superman at one point. But this right here is an 8.5 and is the highest selling comic book that we know of, because we don't know if prehistory had any kind of comic books that we weren't aware of. Obviously, with a shelf life of approximately 50 years, a comic book from 2,000 years ago would be, kind of hard to come by. But anyway, this right here, this guy turned a sick profit. Sick. So this is what we all aspire to be. And again, we know that not every book is going to go up in value. All right. Just because you buy a book and just because it's rare doesn't mean the book needs to be listed for $100. Especially if there's no if there's no guts to move it. Like, this is a Superman, first appearance of Superman we're talking about here. So obviously it has spec value. But this again was taken from the AP. So shout out to the AP for the information on this sale. And you can read more, a new record for the most expensive comic book ever. And you can follow that link and pause it on your screen and type it, whatever you need to do. But moving on, everybody, because this is the Wednesday Night Comic Book Presser, we have some books to talk about. So not only do we have some books to talk about, we have two books in general that are on everybody's mind. What did Ultra pick for his honorable mention for Book of the Week this week? Well, here's my honorable mention. All right, now, obviously, there's a regular price variant of this one, but I didn't even get a chance to read this book to even find out if there's any other speculatory value to it, but sheer ordering rarity. Do you think there's a lot of people ordering 100 copies of Nonstop Spider-Man? Because I sure don't. I didn't see this at either of the 2 LCSs I went to today. I did see some 1 in 25s. Obviously, that cover's out there and around there, but this is, again, a 1 in 100. So you're paying probably around that ratio. And then I saw somebody in the live chat ask me about a specific book, and I've got a specific answer for you. The book of the week is Joker number 2, Secret 1 in 50, Salting the Order. Now, here's the thing. If you ordered 50 copies, you got 1. But if you ordered 100, did you get 2? That's the question that I have yet to answer. So if you are in the live chat and you know anything more about that, why don't you give us a shout out and let us know what's going on with that. And if there is any other kind of information available on this Joker number 2, other than it was a secret variant that if the store had ordered 50 copies of, they were going to go ahead and just bless them with another copy. So moving on, because we got a lot of stuff to get through this evening. Got a lot of good news for you. Got a lot of reviews. Yeah, just a bunch of fun stuff. But let's take a look at the new releases of the week, everybody. And shout out to everybody in the live chat. And here it is. Jamie? No. All right. So first up on the agenda is going to be the book by Ablaze. Ablaze gave us 1 drop this week, and that is the Eros Psyche number 2. You had your A cover. You had your B cover. You had your C cover, which looked kind of cool. And then you had your D cover, which is, of course, your Pulp Fiction swipe. The first book had that Harry Potter swipe. So there was also this 10 copy incentive by Gorham. And then there was the other book as a 20 copy. And then the Pulp Fiction swipe was also available as a 30 copy virgin incentive. So good luck to you out there. Yeah, see, a lot of people picking up. Everybody's saying and cover swipes are dead, but I think that tasteful ones are where it's at. But yeah, on Joe's actually onto something. I know the rarity's not there, but the trade dress did look better because of the Pulp Fiction homage and it matching the Pulp Fiction colors. I do agree with you there, sir. But still a cool book nonetheless. I did pick up the first one with the Merca and Dolfo variants because I'm a little bit of a Merca collector. But Wayward Legends comics is their next one up, and then of course they themselves a cover to go along with that one. Metallic Ink. Ooh. Fancy. Abstract Studios dropping us another second print for Serial, but this time for issue number 2. And then issue number 3 dropping the same day. So kudos to them for having that one align. And that's Terry Moore's pretty horrific comic. AC Comics is going to give us 1 drop this week, and that is Super Babes number 6. Up next with Aftershock Shattering Expectations, Maniac of New York number 3. And this dude just saw Jason Goes to NY and decided that it was like the best thing ever. Phantom on the Scan, cover A. And then here's your 15 copy incentive. Scout's Honor number 4. And if you don't like spiders, you're probably not going to like that one. Undone by Blood. The Other Side of Eden. Number 2. All right. Antarctic Press. Cat Shit 1, Volume 2, Number 3. It's just the name. I try to keep it clean. Horror Comics, Black and White, number 3 of 3. And then Planet Comics, number 3, giving us this cover A. in this cover B, and I believe just previously on FOC a couple weeks back, the next issue of Planet Comics is going to have all those different sketch covers, so blank sketches. So good luck to you out there. Archie giving us Archie 80th Anniversary Jumbo Comics Digest number 2. And of course, because it says collector's edition on the cover, you guys know in 20 to 30 years, this will sell for twice its cover price. At minimum. So if you can find somebody to buy it, you'll double your money. So I'm sipping on a huge cup of coffee, so pardon me for the takes in between takes. There are no takes here. This is all raw, just like the Raw Report. We keeps it real. Artists, writers, and artisans. Chariot, number 2. Redemption, number 3. And that's going to wrap it up for them. And next up, Hotline Miami, Wildlife, number 8. Paranormal Hitmen, number 3. Floating World Comics, Night Hunters, number 3 of 4. Humanoids. We've got Space Bastards, number 4. Mad Cave. Honor and Curse, number 10. They Fell from the Sky, number 3. Yeah, I'm in rare form tonight, guys. So I shout out to everybody in the live chat. Again, I appreciate y'all for showing up. If you do have any special requests or any shout outs you need, be sure to drop a super chat. I will be happy to spread that. If it's a subscription, YouTube, IG, whatever, drop it. Kind of like Oni Press just dropped the Jana and the Impossible Monsters number 1 second printing on you, and then gave you nothing else this week. It's not even like it's a 5th week of the month. It's only halfway through. Red 5 Comics. White Lily, number 2. Scouts up next. And yes, actually, I am having a fantastic evening. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing good as well. And if you guys didn't see my Raw Report earlier, I dropped a meme pickup video. Spec heavy. Children of the Grave, number 4 from Scout. Locust, number 1. Murder Hobo, number 1. This is just weird. And then Shit Show, number 3. Second Sight Publishing giving us Blowtorch, number 1 of 5. Duplicant. Freak Show Night, number 1 of 5. One shot? See, that doesn't make sense. And I didn't copy it over from the previous one, so that must have been a typographical error. But anyway, Titan Comics. Doctor Who. Missy, number 1. Cover B. It is a good year for weird books, and we're about to get real weird. I'm about to turn up the weird. Don't you worry. Doctor Who, cover D. And then here is the Illumination presents Minion Sports number 2. It's kind of funny. But I hope y'all were ready and locked and loaded for Minky Woodcock, the girl who electrified Tesla. And that cover A is pretty sweet. But then there's also this cover B. And that is not Planet Comics Sketchbook. There is your Minky Woodcock Girl Electrified Tesla cover C. Here is your cover D. And then, unbeknownst to, I guess, a lot of people, and the one that I have been hip to, FOC Virgin Incentive. But it was a FOC open order, and I paid cover price for them at the LCS today, and I bought a couple online. Have you got all the Minky covers? Did you get these FOC Virgins too as well, Joe's Dueling? Because I hear that they were not as common. But anyway, tight. So I think there are more. I'm glad to know I'm not the only person picking up Minky Woodcock here. Diving into Valiant, of course, they give us the Savage number 3 cover A. Then here's your cover B, which is another advertisement of something. That one appears to be Old Spice or Coca-Cola. I don't know. And then Savage number 3's cover C, available in the pre-order bundle. No cover art available. Well, cool. You are a smart man for that pre-order, because I've been looking for some listings. I haven't checked yet since I got real busy in the presser prep here, but I think that it may be kind of a low-ordered one, and if the store is good and people look for it, then awesome nab. And they're actually made pretty well too, so I got a pretty high chance at 9.8 with a press. So we'll see how they do. Next up, of course, is Vault, giving us Autumnal. And this is like a horror story about the fall and a bunch of possessed leaves and stuff like that. And I want to give a shout out to Sith Lordly over at the Spine Ticks for really bringing my attention to this one. I mean, I'd looked at it before on FOC, but he's the one who said that you should really read it. And I think this is the final issue of the miniseries, or it's getting close to the end of it. And if it is getting close to the end, I'll throw it in the read pile, and we'll put it in the read. We'll put it on the reads list and talk about it. Now, picture of everything else, number 3. There's your cover A, and then there is your cover B. Next up, Zenoscope. And so weird, Man Goat and Bunny Man. I mean, cover A, right? You'd think. And then we have cover B. I bought a Zenoscope book. Azor's in the house. Good to see you. Thanks for joining the live chat here, brother. Just talking about these funny books here out today, and this funny one in particular. So next up, we got Boom Studios. Boom Studios dropping Mighty Morphin number 6. And then here is your cover B. These blank sketches. The color, different color rangers, right? So if you're going to get all of these, I would totally recommend you getting somebody to draw an entire set of Ranger helmets on them, just in the different colors. I think that would be amazing. Good luck to you guys who are doing that kind of crazy stuff and utilizing these incentive covers to really make sick Power Rangers covers. Mighty Morphin number 6, cover D's 10 copy incentive, of course, virginized of the cover A. Then you got your 15 copy incentive here of the cover B. And then you got a 25 copy by Momoko. And then she's also going to give you a virgin incentive, 50 copy of that version. Proctor Valley Road, number 2 of 5. So this being a short mini series. Oh, wow. Dropping fuego in here. Shout out to Dr. Joe Severn in the house, dropping fire super chats up in here. Appreciate you, man. If he has a IG or a Facebook or anything he wants you to follow, he's going to put it in the live chat, and please be sure to give him a follow. And really appreciate you stopping by and joining the chat. And Patrick, the moderator extraordinaire, thank you again for holding down the Flipside chat while I am on screen tonight. And just for that, you gonna let him show off like that? You really gonna let him show off? No, I really do appreciate you guys. So here I'm gonna drink some more coffee to that. Out of my massive Ultra Maximus size coffee cup, because as you can see, it's almost as big as my head. All right, so Proctor Valley Road again, cover A, and then of course there is this cover B here for you as well. But they were going to go ahead and get you this 10 copy incentive by Christian Ward, who obviously is delivering on the art. Everywhere he's doing artwork, and he's done a couple of boom covers recently that are just absolute major fire. And I don't even collect some of those boom titles, and the one he did for, I think, Once in Future, like number 17 or 18, was super good. But Mora giving us the 25 copy incentive, and then they decided that they were going to give you the version of that Christian Ward on a 1 per store. Fire. All right, Dark Horse Comics giving us Avatar: The Next Shadow number 4. So now that this is a complete series, they're going to see some trade paperbacks come out, and we'll see about reading a complete story, see what's going on there. Black Hammer Visions continues to give us new stuff, and Chip Zdarsky giving us some writing there, which is amazing stuff. So I believe these are all new characters, according to the people that I talked to that read Black Hammer. Yeah, Dan Mora is indeed sick, indeed. And I like that that all my friends share a lot of similar tastes and quality artwork. There is definitely hope for the comic community. Black Hammer Visions number 3, and here's your Zafino cover. Very dark, but that's typical Zafino. And then Grendel Devil's Odyssey number 5 of its 8-issue miniseries. So interesting to see where that series is going to take us with the Venom-looking mask. Grendel Devil's Odyssey number 5. There's your cover B. Now, this comic was recalled, so I want you guys to remember this later. I'm going to talk about it. If you picked up any copies of it, they're misprinted, and I think they're recalling, and they're going to re-release them. So nothing like major in it. It's not like any offensive words or any of the type of typical stuff that we used to like when it comes to recalling comics. Just I think it's out of order or something like that, or pages are missing or something. But anyway, Resident Alien, Your Ride's Here, number 5 of 6-issue miniseries. Young Hellboy in the Hidden Land, number 3 of a 4-issue miniseries. And that one also had a cover B. And that wraps it for the Dark Horse. Now we get into the Dynamite. So, Deja Thoris, number 11, limited virgin cover. Linsner, limited virgin cover. Linsner, rare, limited Martian red cover. Another Linsner. They're all Linsners now. Just kidding. They're not all Linsners. Sorry, I got to kill a bug. This one's the Castro bonus FOC variant. And there's your Perillo. Yeah, he's got amazing lines. And then there's this one here where all of a sudden Deja's clothed. They can't make up their mind. It must have huge temperature swings on Mars. But here's your cover C by Linsner. There's your cover D by Robson. Your cover E, Cosplay. Yeah, I think I kind of slacked on going to the incentives here, Jamie, just because the presser was already packed, and I went through the other books, but there's going to be a couple of these books that have incentives, and you should probably be checking with your LCS, because I know, I definitely missed it, because George R.R. Martin, Clash of Kings number 12, that cover A that I just showed you, and this cover B, both have a 1 in 10 and a 1 in 25. So you're going to be wanting to look out for those as well. Holly, I'm not doing that. I can't mess up. Holly, your name is beautiful, but my pronunciation skills are ugly. But your Vampirilla Magazine 1972 and reprint Virgin variant is extremely tight. And here's your classic Red Sonja number 4 reprint Virgin cover. And then we got Red Sonja number 25, Lee limited Virgin cover. The Linsner limited Virgin cover. And then we got Red Sonja Superpowers number 2 Perillo CGC cover, so you could order this one already CGC'd. And then we got Red Sonja and the Superpowers number 4 cover A by Perillo. Cover B by Yoon. Cover C by Linsner. Cover D by Lau. Cover E by Kano. Cover F Cover G. H is the cosplay. And then you got your premium black and white FOC variant for Yoon. And then you got the Virgin FOC variant from Yoon as well. And then Vampirilla Dark Powers number 2, Lee Crimson Red line art. Dark Powers number 5. So it's crazy, right? You've got issue number 2 coming out with a red line art variant. I don't know if they consider that a later print or not, or if it's just one of the other printings that they have. But number 5 is this one. It's crazy. Vampirilla Dark Powers number 5, cover B. There's your cover C. Pretty cool Linsner cover right there. Definitely showing his classic style. Cover D by Lau. And then Kano giving us like a Betty Page. Vampirilla Dark Power covers F and G. And then the H cosplay. Premium black and white FOC variant. Premium Lau Virgin FOC variant. Limited Virgin cover. Linsner limited Virgin cover. And I think it's going to do it. And comics are fun sticks, boy. So why does Diamond have so many variants? Does anyone actually buy them all? Okay. So what we just looked at was just the basic list. That wasn't even the full list of variants available from your LCS for Dynamite, because it would have been, 30 minutes of show. So yes, people do buy them all. Some people pre-order all of them all at one time. And some people actually do read it. Yes, I know, it's crazy. Like, some people actually read these books. There's always people buying them at the LCS that I go to, but I guess a lot of people just don't talk about them. And these are the people that I suspect that are the ones that pay for the high grade copies of Vampirilla. Like, dude, the oversized magazine size number 1, her first appearance or whatever, that book sells for a ton of dough, and it's impossible in high grade. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of and it's true. A lot of cover by people, but I don't fault them for collecting what they like, because they obviously like that stuff a lot, and they do keep Dynamite in business. But what's really, really cool about Dynamite, I think, is the fact that I think they print their own books. So I don't know about their returnability and what they do. So Spidey Hunter's in the house, and he just got through on Dynamite, and look at what he says. He's like, so glad he hasn't missed the Marvel DC yet, because I guess that's where all the good stuff is. Yeah. And booty sells comics. And this is kind of true. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get back into it. So IDW up next, and Kanto City of Giants number 1 of 3. And then here's your 10 copy incentive. We got somebody who says they have a few slabbed Vampirilla books. It's okay, man. That 1 in 25 is probably going to be a heater for a while. Let me know. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you're reading Cantu, this one here, City of Giants, because I'd like to know about it. Who are the Giants? Chained to the Grave, number 2 of a 5-issue miniseries, and they also dropped a 10-copy incentive out today. For you G.I. Joe fans, they actually gave your A cover a wraparound. I think that's pretty tight. So your A cover was a wraparound Terradrome. And then your cover B. And then your 1 in 10 incentive. Lock and Key, Sandman, Helen Gone, number 1. So this is wild, mixing Sandman with Lock and Key. And I saw an article talking about where Neil Gaiman said it was a unique opportunity to merge the two. But it works. Supposedly it's going to work real well. There's your 10 copy black and white incentive you'll be on the lookout for. And then, of course, your 25 copy incentive of the B cover. And then, of course, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is giving you the cover A, 96. Cover B of 96. and then your 1 in 10 incentive. All right. They gave us the next generation gift one that offered additional variant covers, so you didn't have anything else to chase. TMNT Jenica 2, number 6 of 6. And then the 10 copy Nicole incentive. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. 1 in 10. Now, Usagi Yojimbo, number 18. But then Usagi Yojimbo's 18-10 copy, Jennifer Mayer, one of the most fire Usagi covers in a long, long time. But also, your 10 copy qualifier was on issue 17, making this one an absolute ghost for a lot of stores. I saw them online, and they were online for $50 to $60. I don't know how they're going to do secondary market wise. Obviously, nobody has any crystal balls to be predicting that kind of stuff, but this is definitely one of those retail incentive variants that's probably going to be chased by Usagi fans. I just don't know how many Usagi fans are out there to warrant the price. To see, keep an eye. Let me know. Let me know what you think about that book. Leave me a comment below or fire it up in the live chat. Image. Birthright, number 48. And then we got Home, number 1 of 5, cover A. Your cover B. Homesick Pilots. And then you had a cover B. Jules Verne, Lighthouse, issue number 1. Jules Verne's a Lighthouse, cover B. And Carmen gave us this cover A. And then the cover B, 25 copy incentive. And then there was no cover art, but it was a 50 copy incentive sketch version. Scumbag number 7. Scumbag number 7's 10 copy incentive. Look at that raw he rolled. Well, at least he's coming down off the hard drugs. DC Comics. Now, I'm noticing something that as I'm going through this, Lunar likes to remove the incentive variants. So I don't think I have the black and white sketch Federici on here. I hope I do. But American Vampire giving us these cover A and cover B. These Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries, number 1 of 12. But Batman Black and White, number 3, did give us this second printing. Batman the Detective, number 1, cover A by Kubert. There's a cardstock variant. And there was a cover B, but did I record over it? Yeah, see, I'm doing all sorts of horrible edits here. My apologies, because I'm supposed to be tightening up. Batman Urban Legends, number 2, there's your cover A. Here's your cover B by Matina. Grifter Matina cover. It's pretty wicked looking. And then Batman Urban Legends number 2, your Derek Chu Katana variant. Challenge of the Super Sons, number 1 of 7, cover A by Jorge Jimenez. And then I picked up the cover B personally just because it looked very bright and vibrant. Very happy. This looks very ominous, very dark. This is sunshine. Just saying. This is Dark Side. Infinite Frontier number 0, one shot. Giving you a second printing. And what's really, really interesting about this one is I didn't put it on one of my pickup spec matrices, but this is the first appearance of this version of Darkseid, which is a version of Darkseid that has absorbed all other versions of himself, making him the one true Darkseid. So this one shot issue 0 may be something a little bit longer leg than I had given it credit for. And again, this is what you guys get with me. I'm honest and I'm off the cuff. So there's no scripting. But Joker number 2, cover A, pretty good cover. Bermejo cover, pretty good cover. Steel Freeze variant, pretty good as well. Yeah, I am missing the Federici. I think I copied over it with this thing. Joker number 2, the book of the week. So yeah, this is definitely an interesting book, and I don't think it's going to have as long of a legs. Think Robin King. So I went to one LCS yesterday who had this out, and they had this up for $349. And then the other one was $169. So yeah, I left it at both shops, but who knows? I actually have a feeling that we've already met Bane's daughter, and I think it's the girl from issue number 1. So right now, this is pure speculation, because if it's her in issue 1, and then this is her as Bane, as the daughter of Bane, she puts the mask on or whatever. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about the daughter of Bane spec. And if you think if it is the character from issue number 1 that hires Jim Gordon. Yeah, man, this is what we're talking about here, man. That much. Rorschach number 7 of 12, cover A. And then we've got cover B, which has the Watchmen style logo to it. Superman number 30. And then Superman number 30 offered this Inyuk Lee cardstock variant. Thought it was a pretty cool looking cover, but there were none left on the shelf when I got there. Sweet Tooth The Return number 6. And then Wonder Woman number 771, cover A. And then your Middleton cardstock variant. So, yeah, so Marvel Comics giving us Amazing Spider-Man number 61 second print Gleason variant. This basically negated the other variants, because he first appears in this armor in this issue. They didn't give him a cover until 62. So if you're specking on Spider-Man keeping this suit for a while, you probably want this one. America Chavez made in the USA number 1 second printing Pacelli variant. Black Cat number 5. LaRouse did a pretty good job on that A cover. And then we got the Heroes Reborn variant, and there's our boy Phil Coulson. And then the Incentive variant by Lou Pacino. Children of the Atom number 1 second print, and I looked at a stack of these books, and they all had a slice through the lower spine back cover, right underneath, like halfway between the staple and the end. And I left every single copy of that book on the shelf. So, that being said, Children of the Atom number 2, cover A. Your Todd Nauck headshot variant. And then the Henderson Incentive variant, which, of course, that's one of mine. I like that. Daredevil number 29, and we still now, 5 issues in, have Elektra still posing as Daredevil. And there she is in the insane asylum with Heroes Reborn. And I don't know what the Phoenix thing is doing there, but that's obviously a little wild. Darkhawk, Heart of the Hawk, number 1. Darkhawk, Heart of the Hawk, number 1. Daughterman variant, which is the one I wanted, but unfortunately I went to the store with my kid today, and he was being a little bit ornery and not wanting to hustle, and I saw this one get picked up, last copy in front of me, so I took this one home instead. And this is the one that's got Star-Lord and Nova on it, so not a bad one to take home, that's for sure. Now this was wild. Fantastic Four number 30, the Acuna Thing variant. Yeah, get that? The Thing variant. And then we got Fantastic Four number 30, regular cover with that nullified thing. Guardians of the Galaxy number 13, where we find out that Star-Lord has a son. Guardians of the Galaxy number 13, Liefeld variant. The Heroes Reborn variant. And then the Ron Lim variant. The Yoon 1 in 25. And yeah, I was leaving this multiple books at $70, and I don't think the local stores around me understand one thing. If you're going to price books at eBay prices, people will just go to eBay, and they will leave those incentives on the shelf. If you're open to bartering, let me know. I'll be happy to pick up some of those and get them off your, get them off your racks. But if you're going to price them at 70 or something, yeah, they're going to stay. But nonetheless, Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon. Number 4, and then your cover B variant. Iron Man number 8. And wait. Let's back this up for a second here. Moon Dragon and Iron Man. So that's very unique. And if you guys are following Guardians of the Galaxy, you know that there's 2 Moon Dragons in one body. It's a really weird situation. Pardon me, sipping the coffee. Yeah, your Heroes Reborn variant with the 4-color Iron Man. Pass. King in Black Namor, number 5 of 5. So now that he's got his full miniseries done, I'm anxious to read it. Maestro, Warren Pax, number 4 of 5. There's your variant. Nonstop Spider-Man's cover A, your cover B variant, your 1 in 25, and then your 1 in 100. Power Pack Outlaw number 5 of 5. And then this one, I have some people telling me this one's really, really dark. I don't know if it's going to get thrown in the read pile. If you think I should throw Spider's Shadow number 1 and the rest of the miniseries into the read pile, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. I mean, the covers look pretty cool. Variant cover, open order, looks pretty decent too. And then the Ron Lim variant, which actually has the attention of a lot of people, more so than, let's say, the Zdarsky variant. Crazy, huh? Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 11, and here is Bosk. Hope everybody likes that one. I rehearsed that one multiple times. Just kidding. Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 11. There's your Empire Strikes Back variant. And then Thor number 14. I really want to read this whole series now, this whole thing. so here, Joe's shout out to comment of the night. Best comment I saw all week was an LCS that noted there are more Heroes Reborn covers than I have total orders for the title. That's pretty bad. Yeah, Spidey Shadow is supposed to be a standalone story, and it's what if he becomes Venom. So it's basically if the symbiote had taken over Peter Parker. If Peter Parker hadn't beat the symbiote into submission and made it a rage monster and then done all the things he'd done, what would happen? That's interesting. I may have mentioned it real quick, but it may pop up in the news. So let's get the cracking here. Your Klein variant for Thor number 14 was your incentive. And then, of course, rounding out the Thor titles for this week, we had Thor and Loki Double Trouble. Offered us 2 covers. Here is your cover B. And then here is your Wolverine number 11. Your Wolverine 11B. And that is your new releases. And again, I want to remind everybody here who is not following me on IG to go subscribe, follow, whatever, request me. I will approve you. Ultra Maximus. That's where you're going to find details of this Ultra box I'm building. And also want to give a shout out right now to our previous sponsor for many giveaways. And I have placed an order with him. There may be a giveaway coming soon. Be on the lookout for that. But make sure you guys have bookmarked Wanted Comics for some of the greatest. I don't like store variants very much. This is true. I've said it. You've heard me talk about it before. I like Drew's store variants because A, he doesn't really upcharge them like a whole heck of a lot. B, Drew is also one of the most reliable comic shops on the West Coast and also one of the greatest eBay sellers on eBay. So if you're not shopping Wanted Comics for all those other reasons, then I can understand it. But it's the reason why I choose to represent him on this show. It is not a paid endorsement, just a FYI. So, but back at it, Drew's good peoples. And if you aren't following him, you're doing yourself a disservice and probably missing out on a bunch of good books, probably at a better price than some places you might be finding them. But yeah, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of all the new books that came out this week. If there's anything that I missed besides the stuff I pointed out. But it's time to get into some more news, and this is the Raw Report update, everybody. I hope you guys are ready, because I know I'm ready. And you know what? This guy got an hour-long cut. Yes, a 1 hour long cut of him doing the same dance of like 40 seconds of dancing over and over again for an hour. So if you aren't tired of my gift that I'm playing here, you should head over to YouTube and check that out. So now it is a time to discuss Falcon and Winter Soldier's latest episode. We've got 2 episodes left, and I've got what I think to be a bombshell spec call. Yes, you heard this right. You heard me right. Bombshell spec call. I think I'm making a good spec call here, and I think there's a reason for it. You guys either going to love me or hate me for my honesty, but you know what? I'd rather be hated for who I am than for being loved for somebody I'm not. But this previous episode was amazing. Oh my God. Not only was it amazing, the internet is savage and the internet remains undefeated because not only was this episode amazing with tons of good content, the memes and the chats were lit. So let's talk about some things here real quick. Oh, my dude got called at Captain Alabama. And you know, my wife's from Alabama. And her mom's from Austria, so yeah, it's a little bit funny and a little bit not at the same time. But Captain Alabama is definitely not Captain America, and you guys were relentless with this. But not only that, so they keep on saying that the next episode of the Falcon and Winter Soldier will feature a major cameo from a new MCU character. Huh? Well, anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. But you guys can't tell me that this isn't the same picture. This is hilarious, isn't it? Yeah, it is hilarious. Yeah. You know, and that's obviously the cancer side of fandom that's threatening him with death because he played such a good, not Captain America. But you know what? Those people who are threatening him with death threats are idiots. He's not real. Wyatt Russell is real. John Walker is not. But anyway, yeah. So you can't tell me again this is not the same picture. But this was pretty much how the episode went. And if you can't laugh at this one, what can you laugh at? Because the Dora Milaje basically just whipped up on this poor guy. But the episode did take a sour turn when this happened, because the first part we were all John Walker getting his ass beat by the Dora Milaje. We were all into it, right? And then John Walker killing a man in broad daylight using Cap Shield. Yes, my dude, that indeed was the Dudley brothers. All right. So John Walker killing a guy. Yeah, it's going to be a lot to pay. So let's get into this for a second here, because I know that this show is amazing when it comes to what it's giving us as fans, right? We are getting the fan service. We're getting what we know to be Sam as Cap, right? Well, I want to let you guys on a little secret. There are 2 shields. If there's 2 shields, I can only assume that the number of Captain Americas will be +1 by the end of the series after all the math is said and done. And that means minus the John Walker Cap, +2. And if that is the case, that would explain a lot of books disappearing from eBay in the last couple of weeks. And some of them I really regret not buying right now. But a lot of us have been on to the other spec for a long time, hoping that this man would take up the mantle. And we were kind of, I think, let down but I don't think that's how it's going to go down. I think we are going to see multiple shields, maybe multiple caps. So there's my spec. Let me know what you think. We have 2 weeks to see if I'm right. Actually, it's we have 8 days to see if I'm right because we get the final 2 episodes. We got, one in a little over 24 hours. So I don't know, guys. I'm hyped. I really, really do think it's going to happen. I think 2 caps is going to go down, but I may be wrong. And that's why it's speculation, everybody. But I don't know, Empire. Is it? Yes. See, Dwayne Scott's got it. It's going to be Mephisto with the shield. All right, everybody. We're moving on. We got more stories to get to. More stories. All right. So the next one up, of course, Screen Rant, giving us the goods on good old Powerpuff Girls live action. So Powerpuff Girls being live action is going to be a definite new take, but we've got Quake and some very pretty girls taking up the reins on this show. So this will be very interesting to see. And yeah, I heard they got Turk from Scrubs to play the Doctor. So that would be pretty cool. All right. So next up. Cons coming back, everybody. And this is something that I've noticed a couple of people talking about in private chats on other podcasts. People talking about ridiculous things, scoring Campbell Wolverine #1 and Campbell Siege #3s for Jeezer. So shout out to Mercenaut and Nico. Nonetheless, I'm looking forward to it. So MegaCon's going to be coming up in August. I did not pre-order my pre-order tickets with the discounted rates and stuff like that, so I may not be able to get in unless I can finally finagle a press pass. But I'm still my primary job is stay-at-home dad, full-time dad. But I'm excited to get back into some cons. Now, another thing that I saw on the news, and this is nuts. This woman goes on Pawn Stars and claims that a $15 yard sale comic book was worth $50K. What book was it? Werewolf by Night in a 9.8. It was a CGC graded book that she got in a box of comics for $15. One of them was a Werewolf by Night 32, 9.8. So the comic was appraised on the show to be around 50,000 or 60,000 and a 9.8. I don't know if anybody wants to check GPA and see how close that was. I copied the story before I could go into checking GPA because this blew my mind. Because if con season's back, forget con season. I want to go to yard sales and stuff like that have CGC 9.8 Werewolf by Night 32s in them because that's just ridiculous. So nuts. All right. And Patrick can confirm he watched that Pawn Stars. So this one was recalled today, and I had somebody pop up in the chat and talk about it. But the recall, again, was done because there was pages missing from the story. So we'll see if this has any legs on a recall. Maybe, maybe not. Is it a fun pickup? Maybe. I know that the LCS was telling people about it, and he told me about it, and there were no copies left. I was like, yeah, there's none left. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm like, it's cool. It just means I didn't need the book anyway. So Jenny Zeros may be on the shelves, and they are looking to be recalled or turned back in. They're going for 20. And man, look, this is the reason why I like when people are distracted with that kind of spec, because it leaves other spec for me. And we're going to talk about that because it is time to enter the Matrix. All right. So as we wind down the presser, everybody, you guys know I like to get you a little snapshot of some stuff inside of my head. Some of that stuff being what's in the read pile. So last week in the read pile, I threw in Venom 34 and King in Black #5. And what this means is if you did not read these, well, now's the time for you to leave. So in this, I called it 2 months ago. 2 months ago, I said they're going to bring back Flash. Watch, they're going to bring back Flash. Sure enough, this is exactly what we got. So Flash Thompson at the end of Venom 32 comes back as a Codex Ghost. Eddie Brock, Rex, who is the Tyrannosaurus guy from there and from the Venom series. And so these three guys are basically all Codex Ghosts in the hive, and Flash manages to turn into a white symbiote dragon and fly. Like he manages to escape the hive. It's like, what the hell? So that happens, and then Eddie emerges also, but without his body. So Eddie emerges just inside his basically a Codex Ghost inside of the symbiote at first, and then he gets reunited with the symbiote, and that's when that's when all the King in Black stuff takes place. King in Black is its own thing. It's over. If you really care about the story with Eddie, that's where you want to be. But we're focused right now on the story with Flash, because Eddie tells Flash, you remember what happened with Cletus with his symbiote and how he came back. And he tells him, go find out. And Eddie's like, I got this. So no one ever dies in Marvel, but you know what? The right people are being resurrected. And I think everybody thinks that King in Black was a huge bust for you. No. See, King in Black was merely a correction to the death of Flash Thompson and the anointment of Eddie Brock as the King in Black and the best host of a symbiote, and also to give the world the opportunity to say, okay, Venom, you've killed a whole bunch of people. Let's just be honest, some of them probably deserved it. You've done a lot of bad things, but you're now a hero because you just saved trillions of people. But this is the payoff, because we have the King in White, and then we have the King in Black. And if you guys notice, every time Flash was talking, his was a white box with black lettering, and every time Eddie talks, it's black box with white lettering. So these guys are opposites. But you know what else? The solicit hit. And once the solicit hit, I knew the spec was good. So pay attention again, everybody, because months ago I called this, and I think it was on the presser, and if it wasn't on the presser, it was somewhere else where I was talking comic books. But Agent Anti-Venom. So Agent Anti-Venom has basically a cameo and a first full, and I'm going to break it down for you right here. The cameo happens in Venom Inc. #1, which has that Delato 1 in 50 and a couple of store variants as a fried pie. But the Anti-Venom, Agent Anti-Venom, right here, first appearance, one shot, says his name, but is it a cameo? Because it's only that one panel, and then the rest of the story goes on. It deviates from there, and it does not return to anything related to Flash Thompson and Eddie until we pick up an Amazing Spider-Man number 792, which has a bunch of different covers that show Agent Anti-Venom on the cover. All right. So, and actually, it's not all demonic. It's basically just liquidy goo organisms, man. And if you understand that life exists in all different types of variations, it can exist as a plasma, it can exist as a light, it can exist as 700 trillion atoms. Basically, us. How we're. If you guys ever look at an atom, they're mostly air, so we're mostly air. And just remember, we are hollow from our mouth to our tail end. Otherwise, how would food get out? So this is good stuff right here. So again, we pick up an Amazing Spider-Man 792, and the very first panel up top is right after he gets the goo spilled on him, and the symbiote basically split because it was trying to attach to both Eddie and Brock, or Brock and Thompson at the same exact time, when Peter flipped that goo off, because they were trying to remove the symbiote from Eddie, which they successfully did do in the next couple of panels. But Agent Anti-Venom clearly right there. So you got the Stegman variant, which is your 1 in 25, but you also have these two covers here. And you know why these are awesome? Because they're Alex Ross. I'm not sure if Alex Ross drew Venom before this. He may have, and it may have actually been on like a Secret Wars cover or something along those lines, but not very many. I just got to say that. And then, of course, there's Flash's Agent Anti-Venom right there on the cover. So leave me a comment below. Let me know, does Agent Anti-Venom have legs over top of the Secret Avengers first Agent Venom, or with Flash Thompson taking on the symbiote in any of the previous ones, or all the way even way back to when Eddie Brock became the anti-Venom. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. All right. On top of this, and of course, I wanted to read some new books this week and give you guys some spec to go off of. And Joe, I found some spec in the Darkhawk book, yo. Shout out to all my 90s brethren who are rejoicing with a new Darkhawk one-shot. And guess what? Darkhawk's going to be returning in a new ongoing series later in this year, and you find that out inside this book. But guess what else you find out inside this book? There's goodies. You know what the goods are? Well, Mike Powell, Darkhawk's dad, right? First appearance. For everybody wondering, it was Darkhawk #1. But Darkhawk had a villain appear in issue #3. And in issue #3, he fights a villain called Savage Steel. But guess what they did? They went ahead and turned Darkhawk's daddy into Savage Steel. You know, I didn't have a good picture of the book, and I took a picture with my phone. It just didn't look right, so I didn't bother making a slide. But yep, in this Darkhawk one shot, Darkhawk's daddy Mike Powell becomes Savage Steel and says that if Darkhawk gets in his way, he will have to kill him. So it says so on the cover. That's right. Darkhawk #1 is fantastic. It says so on the cover. So Darkhawk reminds me that Novo #1 is going through the roof soon. Novo #1 already went through the roof, and then it's calmed back down, and then it went through the roof again with more rumors. But every time we get a Nova rumor, it goes through the roof and it settles back down. But it's a good pick. I think it really is a good pick as far as a good speculative pick if you can pick it up cheaply. It's also the first appearance of Robbie Ryder, which is Richard's brother, who becomes Talon R, who's using the Raptor, which is what Darkhawk is. Darkhawk is a Raptor. So cool stuff. I really enjoyed the read too, even though the artwork wasn't all that spectacular, but still fun read. Now we're approaching another section. Hopefully you guys liking this, because right now we've got 86 live listeners in the chat. We're an hour in, and I'm going to wrap this show up with the two segments that you came probably to watch the most. What did I pick this week for my spec picks? All right, let's get into it. Ominous music starts. Welcome everybody to the UltraMaximus Speculation Matrix new release picks. So yeah, I threw this one down just because, again, the Pulp Fiction. I really did I think the artwork on this is fantastic. Even though it doesn't have the bright purple artwork to it, but it's a virginized cover. And then I noticed something else. Is look at the the lotus flower on her school uniform, and of course on the back of the bed too. Serial #2, of course, I picked it because Terry Moore's good writing. And then of course issue 3. I picked this one too just because it's got that weird vibe. Something's up. Can't tell. Is she grabbing her throat? Like, what is she doing? Or is she... not really sure. As you guys know, this one did find its way into my collection. And yeah, I mean, the Cantu City of Giants stuff is just... Obviously, it's everyone's pick. And of course, the RIB 25 copy incentive. If you were lucky enough to get the 25 copy incentive at your store, I don't think this is super high ordered, even with all of the announcement news. And then the Usagi Yojimbo #18, 10 copy incentive by Jennifer Mayer. I do like the Carmen #2 cover A, and I think it's a really, really good one. Batman Urban Legends Matina. Good old Super Sons having a lunch break on top of a building. And then again, if your store wanted to hook you up with this one, like at a reasonable price, like take it, maybe flip it. I don't know, but we're going to have to see what happens in this series to see if there is anything sufficient that can keep us wanting to know more about Bane's daughter. The Middleton book is a constant pickup, but although my LCS did not throw it in my box, so I'm actually after a copy of that one. Children of the Atom #2, the Henderson Incentive variant. Pretty cool seeing the kids take it to some Sentinels. Of course, I put all three of these Darkhawks on here after reading the issue and realizing that his daddy becomes Savage Steel in the issue. It's a first appearance, even though it's not a new first appearance. It's a first appearance of a new version of a character, but artistically, this Ron Lim throws me back to the Infinity War days, and there's the Yoon variant. But they got this thing backwards. On this cover, it was Star-Lord that was running around with his jacket open, not Drax. So if you read the interiors of this book, you see Star-Lord. He's still got that really cool looking Phoenix jacket, and I really want that one. Got to find it. Guardians of the Galaxy #13, the Momoko variant. I'm going to wait for that one to come down under ratio. Nonstop Spider-Man #2s, 1 in 100. Of course, if you can pick this one up at a good ratio, under ratio, and if it's a 9/8 candidate, it's definitely a book you probably want to slab. Spider-Man Spider Shadow #1 of 4, the Zdarsky variant. Of course, there was a couple of them at the store, so I do know that they weren't exactly short ordered by me locally. And does anybody remember books that went FOMO a couple months that are dead silent now? Yeah, how about that Robin King 1 in 25 incentive? Or the Gwenum #1 in Yuck Lee. That one's still getting right around $70 though, but it's definitely calmed down from the 150 plus. But there's a ton of books like that, man. We are such short-memoried people that I wait for the lack of sales within 90 days when somebody comes and lists a book and they don't pay attention to what GPA was on the book or the last sale. But so you guys don't miss anything. Again, FOC has passed, but there's still maybe some things you might be able to do. So here we go. There we go. So on FOC, and I think this is a prototype of the Batman Beyond suit. And look at it. Next Batman, Second Son, #2 of 4. Here's your cardstock variant by Mattina. Marguerite, you just killing it. Sensational Wonder Woman #3. Cardstock variant. Oh, JJ, there's at least 1 or 2. Maybe 4. Yep, coming down under ratio. So, Suicide Squad #3. I really like this one. And if we get a Suicide Squad story with Red X, that's going to change up a lot. I caught this one from Artists, Writers, and Artisans. This is Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal. Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal. Here's your cover C. God of War, Fallen God, #3 of its 4-issue miniseries. Oh, and there she is. And stop staring, peasant. And then you can stare at this one too, and then she'll tell you, stop staring, peasant. God bless Frank Cho. Mirka and Dolfo giving us Deep Beyond, #4 of a 12-issue miniseries, and they're going to do a 3 times 4-issue story arc. So I'm going to throw Deep Beyond into the read pile for my fascination for Mirka and Dolfo's artwork, and we're going to see what we can get out of reading those first 4 issues. Nocterra #2, second printing. America Chavez, Made in the USA, #3 of 5, gave us the Cola variant. And so far, that's probably one of my favorite variant covers. And this is interesting. Thanks, Patrick. The #1 for the new God of War series is going for around 20 already because they were short ordered, and then people found out there's a God of War series right around issue 3, and then all of a sudden they start driving up the price. we have Elephant telling us that Frank Cho should do every Spider-Woman comic. Yeah, maybe. I can see that one. I was really enjoying when he was doing Wonder Woman. Star Wars Bounty Hunters Alpha action figure variant Boba Fett black armor. And it says not final art, but I know it's going to get polished up a little bit, but I think that's sick. So I wonder if it's going to be the first appearance of the black armor in there. And even though I did not see a 1 in 50 virgin incentive, I thought all the Marvel's Tales were giving us a 1 in 50 virgin incentive. So ask your LCS about that 1 in 50 and if it is available. And then first appearance of basically the Justice League Dark from Marvel, led by Magic with Man-Thing and Forearm and Elephant Man, and I think that's Man-Wolf or Werewolf by Night. I'm not sure, but there's a whole bunch of people in here, and they're all creepy-ish, and they all want to hang out with Magic, I guess. So that's going to wrap it up, everybody. And I know I'm stumbling over my words because I'm trying to figure out how to get over this next slide here. But basically, you guys, I want to thank you for tuning into the presser. We ran about 10 minutes over tonight. We're at 1 hour, 11 minutes, 11 seconds. They're just having fun. That's right. But thank you guys. Make sure you are subscribed over to the Wednesday Night Presser, and this is available right now only on the Flipside. I am your humble host, Ultra Maximus, dropping the voice. Please make sure you're subscribed over to me. And I definitely need to update this slide because we were at 471 before I went live. Help me get to 500 subs, and I'm going to show you guys what the goods are going into the Ultra box. I've been stacking books for that box for the past couple of weeks, trying not to share them, trying really hard not to just bust my gut. But the Raw Report, another reason to subscribe to me, of course. You can find me on Facebook and IG at the UltraMaximus ID and UltraMaximus X on Twitter. And there she is, everybody. The first book that I teased going in there is, of course, that wonderful JTC Negative Space Rogue. You're going to want that one. Until All Are One to you too as well, cover lover. I really appreciate that. The rest of you guys, make sure you're, of course, subscribed over here to Mighty Mel V's Drunken Chat, because that's where I'm going to be dropping that Raw Report Spec Matrix Variant Edition every Friday night or Saturday, depending on your time zone. And again, special shout out to Wanted Comics for all of their previous giveaway materials. And this is where I'm going to ask you again to like the video. Make sure you are sharing it. And if you're watching this on the rewind, again, I know I only have about 3 days worth of views coming from you guys before you get tired of hearing about new books this week. So leave me a comment below if you are watching on the rewind. I'd like to know what's going on and how I can help you get info before you hit your LCS maybe. Shout out to Eric Hurd for the wonderful Ultra Maximus logo and many other pieces that I like to use in my broadcast. And of course, shout out to White Bat Audio for the outstanding soundtrack. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next week because there will be a new comic book day, which means there will be a presser.